Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. So I'm sorry I've been MIA for a bit. Well, okay, I haven't really been MIA. I was trying the YouTube short features, which I prefer creating longer form content anyways. I'm a rambler, okay? And in this one I wanted to create a guide, a holiday surviving guide, because the holidays, they may be a very jolly and merry season for many, with the lightings and the stuff, but for many of us, especially trauma survivors, they tend to be quite stressful time of the year. I know that for parents, for example, the holidays can also be a stressful time of the year if you're trying to make ends meet, if you're trying to get all the gifts that your children have wished for, especially in this difficult economy. We are literally living at the door of war, so it's just a complicated time to be alive. So I have been wanting to create this guide. Hopefully it does help someone survive a beautiful but also stressful season. But before we get into that, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to our sponsor. Okay, you guys, we are experiencing our very first sponsorship. This video is sponsored by Cabello Company. I am not paid to talk about this product, but these bundles, okay, get into them, have been gifted to me by my friend Anna. Okay, I love that for me. Shout out to supportive friends, okay, friends who believe in you, okay, even on the days where you do not believe in yourself. And Cabello Company is a black woman owned, okay, support a black woman, Germany based hair company, and you can get different type of bundles from different type of textures. I have been purchasing with my own money hair from Cabello Company for 11 years now. Cabello Company has a satisfied or reimbursed policy. That means if you get bundles from them and you are not satisfied with the quality, you will be reimbursed. I mean, first they will exchange them, and if you are still not happy with them, then they will reimburse you. I'm also here to tell you that because I love you all so much, and I always put my money where my mouth is, shipping will be from me if you decide to get yourself hair from Cabello Company this holiday season. Okay, get your hair together, get yourself all the way laid, okay girl, and get you together. I also want to give a huge shout out to my hairdresser Erica. Okay, murdering, okay, the game. Erica is the best in the game if you live in Germany, which over 5% of you do now. My analytics are changing a lot and I'm excited about that. And if you live in Germany, you DM me. I'm gonna write my Instagram on top and I will give you her number and she can get you all the way together. Okay, she's the baddest to ever do it. Okay. Now let's get right into it. And before we do, I just want to say that the holiday season, like I said before, I'm repeating myself, can be a stressful time. When I think of holidays like Thanksgiving, oftentimes it is supposed to be a joyful event. Many people do celebrate with their families, and they enjoy a fast together and they give thanks for one another and express gratitude for, I guess, the materialistic items that they possess or the accomplishment, that the goals that they were able to accomplish. But also I think that what we many times don't think about, because it's a bit dark, is that for many women, and trigger warning here, and my heart goes out to them, Thanksgiving dinner may mean having to sit next to the uncle that molested you when you were a child, and even having to pass them the potato mash or pumpkin pie or whatever. And that's very distressing. That's very disheartening. It's very distressing, especially if you come from, and we know that black families have specialized themselves in this, unfortunately, when dealing with family members who deny, who are in denial, who dismiss your pain, who when you bring up the subject, when you bring up the topic, if you're upset, if you're triggered, if you're emotional, who say stuff like, oh, let it go now, it's been forever, or you're spoiling the mood, and as if really that's what one should be worried about, the mood of the holiday being spoiled. So it can be disheartening. So I understand that some women, some of us have decided to absolve themselves altogether from attending such gathering, because again, they are hurtful and triggering for us. And if you are one of those women, first of all, my heart goes out to you, and second of all, I wanted to create this video because and I'm gonna call myself out here a bit. One of my goals to thing to say when people come to me and talk to me about disrespectful partners, cheaters, problems that they have, you know, with siblings sometimes, or even children, adult children. That is, of course, one of my first inclination is always to tell them, yeah, just cut them off. You know, block them on WhatsApp, block them on Instagram, block them everywhere, and cut them off. You know, that is my go-to response. It is my go-to answer usually when people come to me with issue concerning toxic people and takers and disrespectful people. But really, I have to recognize, as someone who have cut off a parent and who have thought about, you know, cutting off the other one, is that there is tremendous hurt in not being in touch with blood relatives. You know, I won't call them family, because really family is anybody who love you unconditionally, and some of the stuff these people do really is not very family friendly, you know. But there is distress in that, you know. There is distress in cutting off a brother, a sister, a mother, a father. There is distress in divorce, in separation. There is distress in having a bad relationship with your teen or adult children, because, you know, no matter what it is, I can sit here and tell you the truth is, you know, no matter how bad, no matter how poorly these people may have treated us at times, you know, they are the closest thing we know to love, you know. And usually, obviously, unless you grew up, you know, around people who are monsters, truly, you know, there were good times, you know, there were good moments, there were times when these people were able to express some form of care, you know, even if it was only when you were ill. So it is distressing, it is difficult, you know, cutting them off altogether and having zero contact with them. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there as well, to bring another narrative to my own often overused, you know, strategy, which is just cut everybody off and live all by yourself. But in case you have chosen to do that very difficult decision to cut all your family off, you know, if you are estranged of all of your family, then, you know, my heart goes out to you. You have taken a very hard decision, ones that most people, you know, never will, not because it isn't the right thing to do, but because it is a very and extremely challenging, difficult thing to do. So here are, you know, the tips that I have that hopefully can help you cope. I have utilized this tip as someone, like I said, who do not have the best relationship with my family, even though, you know, full disclosure, I am lucky enough that this season, this Christmas season, I will be able to celebrate with my mother and my daughter, and I'm grateful for that. So, you know, and I'm smiling like this because she's standing right there looking at me. But yeah, but I am estranged of other members of my family, and I'm an immigrant, a Senegalese woman who lives in Germany, and I've had to spend very many Christmas all by myself. Now, the first tip that I have for you is throw yourself a Thanksgiving party. Okay, throw yourself a Thanksgiving dinner, a Christmas dinner. I know Thanksgiving is behind us, a Christmas dinner, and what you want to do here is cook something, make something that you've never made before. Yes, even if you're gonna be all by yourself, here on YouTube there are countless quite easy videos to reproduce, and you want to make one of them for you. Okay, you want to use a very nice plate, you know, some cutleries, you know, get you a glass, like the whole shebang, the whole thing, as if you were inviting somebody around, because really it is extremely important to celebrate you. Okay, celebrate yourself this holiday season. Okay, light you a candle. Okay, do the whole shebang, girl. Okay, for the love of you. And the second thing that you want to do is get yourself a gift. Now, obviously, if you can afford it, like we discussed, the economy is difficult, get you something super duper nice. Okay, wrap it. Okay, and if you are terrible at wrapping gifts like myself, make sure you get a lot of paper. Okay, you know, but wrap it and write a note, you know, for me, from me, with a heart or something, and then put it under your tree, you know, which I guess is one of the tips. Get you a tree. You can get cheap ones from Amazon, affordable ones, you know. But even if you can't afford something really expensive, really pricey this holiday season, if your finances won't allow that, get yourself something small. Okay, like even if it's a candle, you know, the very candle that you light when to make yourself your fast. Okay, get you something. Okay, anything. And the third thing that you want to do is validate your own emotion. This is going to be extremely extremely important, you know, because we are human beings, and because your mind lies. You all know I talk about this all the time. It is not unusual for this time of the year thoughts to come back to us, ask us, you know, whether we made the right choice, whether we made the right decision, maybe we should go back after all, and stuff like that, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. So it's going to be extremely important to validate your own emotion. Remind yourself why it is that it is like this. Why did you cut them off? You know, remind yourself that you are doing the best thing for you. You know, this reminds me of a story that I once read on a forum about a woman who spent 15 Christmas by herself, and then if Christmas came where her family called her and they invited her, and you know, she was weak, as we all can find ourselves to be sometimes, so she decided to go, you know, and she had to drive cross country to go and celebrate with them because she had moved across country to separate herself from their toxicity. And then she said that as she was in the middle of the road, in the middle of the way, you know, on the highway, they called her and they say, oh, can you bring this, that, the third. And so turns out they didn't want her there, really. They wanted to use her. They knew that she was financially very stable, and they wanted her to bring all this stuff for them, for their kids. She said that, you know, she ended up driving back home, but she was very hurt by this. You know, she cried about it for a long time, because really we all want to feel loved and validated and cared about, but for us, you know, not for what we have to offer and to give. Okay, so make sure you validate your own emotion. Make sure you remind yourself, why is it that you're alone in this Christmas, this holiday season? And tip number 4, I guess, it's stay away from IG. Now I know that, let me tell you something, you won't find me on IG on days like Saturdays. Okay, you just won't. I'm staying away from the app. Okay, I love myself. But yeah, you know, in this season there are a lot of families who are wearing matching PJ with their kids and stuff like that, and expressing their undying love for their parents and stuff, for their partner, for their spouse, and it can be very triggering. You know, it's not that we are not happy for them, but if you wish those things for yourself, or you wish you have had them as a child and you didn't, this can be very hard to stomach. So, you know, make sure you protect yourself. You know, stay away from Instagram, but if you can't help but go on there, okay, because we all need the dopamine hit, sis, we addicted. You know, make sure that, you know, you are monitoring the type of content that you are taking in, the type of energy you are taking in. You know, make sure you don't stay on there for too long. Make sure you take breaks, and again, as you get off the app, make sure you validate yourself. Make sure you validate your emotion. Now the 5th and final tip is call a friend. Okay, you know, we can't choose our blood relatives, okay, but we can choose our friend. As a matter of fact, I like to think of someone like my friend Agnes, like my chosen family. So call a friend, you know, talk to them, and, you know, perhaps invite them, you know, invite them over if they're also alone, if they're also trauma survivors, if they're, even if they are not a trauma survivor, if they're single and have no one to spend the holiday with, if their family live far away and they have decided not to drive or fly to see them, you can invite them to your home, and then, you know, you can share your fast with them. Or perhaps a friend can invite you, you know, if they have a spouse, if they have friends, if they have a family and they celebrate at home, perhaps they won't mind inviting you, and perhaps you can celebrate with them. Okay, but either way, you know, try to build a small community around you, a support system, you know, your chosen families, friends who don't judge, who won't judge, and who will understand, you know, what you're going through, who will validate what you feel. That's extremely important if you can't find anyone like that, because really sometimes we can't get friends on demand just like that. You know, this is real life. We have to be somewhat compatible with these people, and sometimes it is difficult to find someone with whom you are genuinely compatible. That's just the truth. You can refer to a mental health professional. I talk about betterhelp.com all the time on this channel, not because they pay me, okay, but because I wholeheartedly believe in the service, because I have used the service. Okay, there would be no Nushka Am without betterhelp.com. I wouldn't be sitting here making this video without betterhelp.com. So shout out to my therapist Kimberly. Okay, Merry Christmas to you in advance, Kimberly. I hope you have a good one with your girls and your husband. Okay, and yeah, you guys, that's all I have. Take care of you this holiday season. I wish you the merriest of all Christmas. I hope Santa brings you everything that you had on your list. Okay, I wish you well, truly. Okay, bye guys. Mwah.